Hello everyone, welcome to Vedic Astrology. Today we're going to talk about Rahu Ketu transit and Rahu Ketu transit in Taurus and Scorpio signs, and how it is going to impact for each and every ascendant sign. You can see through the moon sign as well. So let's start with Aries sign. For Aries folks, this is happening in second house of family and the income, and eighth house of sudden ups and downs. So for Aries ascendant, Rahu will be transiting in second house, and you may see sudden increase in the wealth and also increase in your family members. There is a chances that you would build a strong appetite for the food. Your consumption intake of the food will also see a significant difference, and also the way you speak with the people, that is also has some impact. So be careful what you talk when you're going to talk. Take caution what you're going to speak. So that's what I can see. And for Ketu is in transiting in your eighth house, so you will see some detachment from the sexual life, and it is a good time for the spiritual activity and the spiritual progress. So do meditate. This is a good time to broaden your spiritual life. For Taurus folks, this Rahu is transiting in your first house, so you will give more preference to yourself and how you look to the world and how you present yourself to the world. So you will develop some self-conscious in you, and so you'll be more centric towards yourself. So be careful about it. And then also it will, since it is first house is also for your whole personality and your head, it represents, so you may find yourself thinking too much about some of the things, or overthinking. Your mind will move so fast that you may end up having some kind of headache or some injury to your body. So take care of yourself. And Ketu is transiting in your seventh house, so Ketu is detachment. So you may find yourself detached towards your business partner and your spouse. So good time for the spiritual progress during Ketu transit in your seventh house. If you're into relationship, so be careful about your relationship, since Ketu is transiting in your seventh house. There could be chances that you may get detached from your current relationship, so be take care of that aspect. Now comes to the Gemini folks. For Gemini folks, the Rahu is transiting in your 12th house of losses. So be careful about your expenditures, how you're going to spend money and where you're going to spend money to. So there is a fair chance that you will have to do a lot of expenditure coming up in your life, since the Rahu transit. So, and also you may visit some spiritual places, and also there could be some little bit difference disturbances in your sleep, so take care of that as well. And Ketu is transiting in your sixth house, so it's kind of good for you, as Ketu is going to detach you from your enemies. And also if you're being facing some health related issues, then Ketu will relieve you from that. And also since Ketu is transiting in your sixth house, you will detach yourself from your enemies. And but you would have some kind of issues with the people who are working with you, so they may not be very supportive as earlier, so be careful about that. For Cancer folks, this Rahu is transiting in your 11th house, so Rahu will bring in a lot of gains from your business, or if you're working at somebody, you may see some kind of increase in the pay, and it will also expand your network circles, or if you have a network circle, you will start spending time with your network circle. That is what I can see. And Ketu is transiting in your fifth house of romance and creativity. So this is not an ideal time to get into a relationship or into love relationship. If you're already in the relationship or married, then this Rahu Ketu transit is not going to be good in terms of the romance and romantic relationship. For Leo folks, for Leo ascendants, Rahu is transiting in your 10th house. So in this transit, you are going to see career upliftment. You will get promoted to the next level, and you may see change in the place. So those are the things that you can find, and be careful about when you're dealing with the government, and your status will also increase. That is what I can see from this transit. And Ketu is transiting in your 4th house. So when Ketu is transiting in 4th house, be careful about your mother health, and you may find yourself detached towards your comforts, your house. That is what I can see through this transit. For Virgo folks, Rahu is transiting in your 9th house. So 9th house is basically for your guru and higher learning. So there is a good chance that you may started developing interest in expanding your knowledge and higher learning. So be prepared for that. And also, since Rahu is also malefic, he may lead you to take some wrong advice. Wrong mentor may come across in your life, so be careful about watchful about that. And also relationship with father, be watchful about that as well. Since Ketu is transiting in your 3rd house, so your relationship with your younger sibling may suffer, or you may not be able to gel with or you may feel that you're detached from your younger sibling for some period of during this Rahu and Ketu transit period. And also you may not be that much collaborative with the people around you at work, and also in your neighborhood. For Libra ascendant people, Rahu is transiting in your 8th house and Ketu is in 2nd house. So when Rahu is transiting in your 8th house, 8th house is mainly for the sudden ups and downs. So and also it's for wealth. You may gain some sudden wealth, or you may lose some sudden wealth as well. So be careful about that. And also when dealing with your in-laws, be careful about that. Your relationship may suffer. And also don't do anything unethical, so that will also lead you into bad situation. So that is what I can see. And stay away from the illegal relationships. Since Ketu is transiting in your 2nd house, you may find yourself very spiritual in your home, and you will detach yourself from saving the money. Like you don't put a lot of effort, or you don't go into saving money. So that is what I can see from this Ketu transit. For Scorpio folks, Rahu is transiting in your 7th house. So 7th house is more for relationship. So you will end up in some relationship which is not good, I would say. So they may cheat you, so be careful who the person you meet during this time period when Rahu is transiting in your 7th house. So Rahu is basically that Maya, that foggy kind of situation it will create, that you cannot see through clearly that whether this person is good or right fit for you. So be careful about who you partner with, who you for business, or who you are going to get into a relationship. So be careful about those aspects as well. And Ketu is transiting in your first house, so you don't this is a very good transit for spiritual practices, such as doing meditation, mantra chanting, and that kind of stuff. So make good use of this time period. Next is Sagittarius folks. For Sagittarius people, Rahu is transiting in your 6th house, and Ketu is in 7th house. Ketu in 12th house. Actually, I would say this is the best transit for you guys. Why? Because Rahu does well in 6th house, and Ketu does well in 12th house. So during this Rahu transit in your 6th house, it's a good time to get over your enemies, and you would definitely do well in terms of maybe earning a land, and in terms of if you're working under somebody, you will do good at work. And Ketu in 12th house, so for spiritual practices and visiting ashrams, going to the pilgrimage, it's a good time. Go ahead and do it, and also meet some people who are spiritually enlightened during this time period. Next, going to the Capricorn folks. For Capricorn folks, Rahu is transiting in your 5th house of romance and romantic relationship. So again, I would say be careful about who you are meeting with and who you are going to have a romantic relationship during this time period. You may end up with not suitable person in the romantic relationship, or you may get cheated in during this period. So be careful about your romantic relationship. And those who do not have kids, they will start developing interest in having kids in their family. So that is what I can see, and your creative mind will do good. Like you will show your creative aspect in your work. And Ketu is transiting in your 11th house, so during this time period you may not be able to spend time with your network circle, but it's a good time to do some charity work, or do some work with a non-profit organization or something that will bring you good karma. So, and also you may not you may develop detachment towards your incoming money. For Aquarius folks, Rahu is transiting in your 4th house, so this is a good time to buy a land or house, or buying a vehicles and all the comforts for your life. So that is what I can see from this, and there could be a chances that you may change your place due to your work. um, and also you since Ketu is transiting in your 10th house, so be careful with when you're dealing with your bosses and subordinates, and you don't care about too much about your recognition and at work. For Pisces ascendant people, Rahu is transiting in your third house. So third house is good for communication and also for trading. If you want to start something, online business or something get into trading, this is a good time to start it. And you will have a lot of interaction with your younger sibling. That is what I can see from this transit. And Ketu is going to transit in your ninth house of spirituality and the Guru. So this is the best time to do some spiritual studies or reading scriptures like Ramayana and Mahabharata. So, and also traveling to the spiritual places, visiting the spiritual sanctuaries will also help you during this time period. That's all I wanted to give predictions about all the 12 ascendant signs and the moon sign. You can see from the moon sign as well. So because of this Rahu transit, Rahu and Ketu transit, if you find yourself that you're facing some challenges and in your life, I would suggest two things. That one is praying to Durga will help you ward away any kind of ill effects due to Rahu, and praying to Lord Ganesh will take away any kind of challenges that you come across due to the Ketu transit. So either by worshipping Lord Durga or Ganesh, by chanting mantras or visiting the temples, spiritual places will also help. So these are the things that you can do to get rid of or overcome any challenges due to this transit. Thank you everyone for watching my video.